What's up, guys? UFC 299 is almost here. It is Wednesday. We still got the weigh-in videos. We still got the press conference. A lot of stuff coming up before Saturday to the main event to where everything goes down. It is going to be chaos, but this is the prelim breakdown video. Now, obviously, the main card stacked, but we've got some pretty good fights on the prelims as well. So what we're going to do here, let's jump over to the big screen and take a look at these. First up, feature bout prelims, Curtis Blades versus Jailton Almeida. We click on this here. Now, obviously, Jailton Almeida, he's been running through the competition. The guy basically ragdolls you, gets a hold of you, drags you to the mat, chokes you out. That's his game. But interesting in this fight, Curtis Blades, wrestling background, strong wrestling background actually. So it's going to be interesting to see if Jailton Almeida can actually get Curtis Blades to the mat. Can he actually get him to the ground? I don't know. That's going to be the inner battle between these two, obviously. I think Curtis Blades at this point, he's been in main events. He's fought some of the top guys. Jailton Almeida has not. So this is a big step up in competition for him. I think Curtis Blades right now at this stage of his career is more well-rounded. I think he's the better striker. I think he's the better all-around mixed martial artist. So this is going to be an interesting test for Jailton Almeida. But I think this is sneakily a really good fight. This is sneakily a really good fight. That is the feature bout on the prelims, and I guess that's why. For Curtis Blades, for him, this is a interesting point in his career also because, like I said, he's been the top dog. He's been up there fighting in the main events. And now you got a hungry guy, Jailton Almeida, that's coming up trying to fight better competition. Can Curtis Blades still prove after that knockout from Derek Lewis, hey, I belong up here. This guy, he's not as well-rounded as I am. He's not as good as me. I can beat him. Let's keep going. Now, Caitlin Chikugian, was saying Sermonera here. I guess she got married? Did she get married? I got to look into that. But versus Macy Barber. This is an interesting one as well. Caitlin can bang. Macy can bang. Both women have shown to be pretty tough. Caitlin is pretty tall for the division. This might come down to the grappling game. This could be one of those things where the striking cancels each other out. And for some reason, I feel like Macy is stronger than her. I just get the sense that Macy's a little bit stronger. She's going to be able to ragdoll her a little bit, throw her around. Obviously they both fought Amanda Hebus, and they both won those fights. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting because neither female really dominated Amanda. So this is gonna be an interesting fight to watch. Let's keep going here. Gamrot versus Rafael Dos Anjos, the legend. I think we have a pretty good idea what's gonna happen here. Gamrot's gonna pretend that he's gonna strike with him for 30 seconds, and he's gonna shoot. We're all expecting that to happen with Gamrot here. That's kind of his MO. He's gonna go straight to the grappling, try to sub him. But I think Rafael can hold his own down there. It'll be interesting. But I think he's gonna want to keep this standing for sure, because I think he's the better striker over Mateus Gamrot. Let's keep going. Pedro Munoz versus Kyler Phillips. This is also another fight that sneaky banger of a fight. One thing I noticed about Pedro, he seems to come into these fights in more recent times, really prepared. For example, when he fought Sugar Sean, every time Sean would switch stances, Pedro would also switch stances. Like he was really keen on paying attention to that. So, because he wanted to be able to kick the lead leg. So anytime Sean would switch, Pedro would switch. And low-key, it was giving him problems. It was giving Sean problems. Every time he'd switch, he'd get kicked in the leg. Granted, he started checking some of those kicks. But he still, Pedro, he had a good showing, especially against the taller, more rangy guy. He kind of held his own. Kyler Phillips now, not as rangy as Sean, not as long. Right, so you won't have to navigate that reach as much. Actually, we click into this. Okay, yeah, Kyler Phillips, 5'8", I believe Sean O'Malley is 5'11". So yeah, much more similar size. Um, but interesting here, Kyler has a much longer reach than Pedro. So it looks like Pedro's gonna have to do some of that stuff again. Gonna have to navigate the reach. But Kyler, he's been coming on, man. He's like 11-2. He's been showing up. I think he's a great striker. I actually think they're both decent strikers. This could be a low key, really, really interesting fight. Now, that's it for the prelims. It goes into the early prelims. I won't go into the early prelims, but there's one fight that I wanted to touch on here. If we keep scrolling, this fight right here, this fight, super interesting. Robelis Despaigne versus Josh Parisian. Now, if I'm being honest, I think they're kind of throwing Josh to the wolves here. I think they're kind of picking on Josh. I think they're throwing him to the wolves here. This guy, Robelis Despaigne, if you've never heard of him, master Taekwondo artist, Olympian in Taekwondo. Just think, and he's at heavyweight too. Just think of that. Those head kicks at heavyweight. In fact, if you want to know what who Robelis Despaigne is, think like a nastier, larger Cyril Gane. I think Cyril Gane is 6'3". Robelis Despaigne is 6'7", and much more ruthless. I think Cyril Gane, nice guy, smiles a lot, kind of thing. He bounces around. He'll touch you there, touch you there, touch you there. Then he'll throw power. Robelis Despaigne literally tries to destroy you with every strike. He's throwing full power head kicks. He's throwing full hooks. Super dangerous. Super dangerous. One more time. Super dangerous guy is Robelis Despaigne. So this is one of the fights that I'm going to be tuning into this pay-per-view from the beginning, from the early prelims, just so I can make sure that I catch Robelis Despaigne against Josh Parisian. I think for Josh, if he was smart, he would definitely try to wrestle. This is definitely a guy that you don't want to be in range of. You do not want to be striking with Robelis Despaigne. So if I'm Josh, I've been practicing my wrestling all fight camp. I've been shooting. I've been doing everything. Single legs, double legs, Illuminati rolls, whatever. I've been doing everything to try to get this guy to the ground. So yeah, he's a monster. Robelis Despaigne, monster. So this fight, definitely one that I'm looking for. Oh, and this is also Robelis's UFC debut. So this is interesting because Josh, he hasn't had a great track record in the UFC. I forget the name of the guy, Russian guy, Mubai or someone. I forget his name. Beat him pretty handily. I think he subbed him with what was it? I forget the name of the submission. But he subbed him with a submission. So if I'm Josh, yeah, definitely going to be incorporating some of the wrestling here. But if we back out of that, yeah, the rest of these fights are okay. But I think the main ones that we're looking for, this is where the card really heats up. Like Despaigne versus Parisian, Michael Pereira. This is also a good fight because he's back. He's in the weight class that he should be in. He should be fighting at middleweight. He definitely shouldn't have been fighting at light heavy. So I like that weight class for him. Just to touch on that fight. Kudabella and Philip Lins. That's also an interesting fight. Let me see if I click on this right quick. 17-5. I don't know much about Philippe Lins, but Kudabella, he's had some ups and downs in the UFC also, so going to be looking to get that back on track. But this is where the card heats up here. Despaigne, then Pereira, Kudabella, and then we get into the prelims with Kyler Phillips and Pedro Munoz. Awesome fight at bantamweight to kick off the main card. Yeah, but that's it for this video, guys. Like I said, we've got the weigh-ins coming up. We've got the press conference. Oh, man, the press conference between O'Malley and Cheeto is going to be nuts. I mean, for whatever reason, Sean, when he gets on the mic, he gets a little timid. He seems to get a little meek to me. Doesn't really rock the mic, but we know Cheeto's gonna be saying all kinds of crazy shit. So, looking forward to that. Going back up, yeah, Gamrot, that is gonna be a hug fest. Gamrot's gonna just pretend to strike and then shoot. Caitlin and Macy, I think they're gonna bang for a bit, and then Macy might try to take it to the ground, try to ragdoll her. That's probably going to happen. This one's really, really interesting. Feature bout of the prelims. Does Jailton Almeida get Curtis Blades to the ground? Is he able to out-wrestle Curtis Blades? That's going to be interesting. Or is Curtis going to show that he's the much more well-rounded mixed martial artist? And obviously, I've already touched on the main card. See, I don't even want to get a sneak peek. I don't even want to get a sneak peek of what's going on over there, because then I'll just start talking about that and make a whole new video. Anyway. Yeah, that was the prelim breakdown. This was the video. You know what they say. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.